only one show that I remember that everything just kind of went to the bottom of the ocean.
Where were you?
At LA, of all places.
At the Novo.
Oh, too bad.
It was like the LA show. You know, for everybody, LA is like the show, which I understand. But for me, every show is important. So I don't care that I'm in LA. I just need the show to go right. But I get why, you know, LA is a big market, whatever. But we had a couple guests and some things were requested and something was rearranged in playback, and I don't know what went wrong. It just started.
Trying to remember.
Like the second song was Boot Up. That can't be the second song of the show. Like it's the single. Everything, the order of the show was all out of whack. It just was horrible. And Ella handled it well. She did. She was a great trooper.
Truly.
It was the absolute worst. I wanted to just say, LA, we'll be back. Like, we can't do this show tonight. But Ableton it went haywire because of an edit that was made. And I don't know if things weren't double checked, quadruple checked. The whole order of it was out of whack. And it sounded like just the wrong session. Like, the levels were off. Wrong songs were being played. It was just really bad.
We were missing the drum tracks. I'm remembering this. I think I blocked a lot of it out.
Me too.
We're missing the drum tracks.
Oh my God.
And
so
everybody's
bad.
like, everybody's all over, you know, ears. Like, I'm just hearing it from like 8 different people. Like, there's no drum tracks, no drum tracks. Why are there no drum tracks? I'm trying to talk to the MD because the laptops aren't in front of me. So I can't look at it to figure it out. It was something about the like A rig versus B rig. Like, we had just started using a different playback device. And I think that day taught me the importance of process. Not that I didn't know it before, but that day forward, we put a new process in place and stuck to it like absolutely. Once we're done sound check, no edits. You know, make whatever edits you want during sound check, fine. Everybody signs off on it, cool. No edits between then and the show, like just never ever again.
Yeah, I forgot.
You know,
we had made that edit like right before the show because a certain request was made, and we were scrambling trying to, you know, accommodate, and we just made that edit before the show. Yeah, that was just a bad call.
Yep. Process is very important with playback and versioning and all of this, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny just talking to people about the stuff because the exact same thing happened to us on a Heim gig one. You went in there and like, we want to do this edit. You know, it's like, well, sound check's done. Doesn't matter. Do the edit. And then, something went wrong. It was like the wrong session. It's exactly what you're describing. Something happened and the show was like, what's going on? And like, had to stop the show. He had to load an old session just to kind of get it working again. It was a disaster.
Yeah, we had an intermission built into the show anyway, and we just took it early. I was like, call it, because I'm a production manager too, so I'm out like trying to fix it by mixing the show, but also having to like troubleshoot as a production manager and figure out how to fix this problem and when to stop the show and all this stuff, trying to check in with Jess, and she's getting it from all the musicians on stage as well as management, all this stuff. So I honestly was trying not to get on talk back with Jess because I knew what she was dealing with, but I just was like, yo, tell Ella that we're going to take intermission.
We're coming back.
It was literally like only 3 songs in, and we were like, nope, we gotta, let's figure this out. This can't happen right now.
Yeah. And another time that there's like a huge playback issue, was not part of the team that built it, but this also speaks to the best advice I can give. And this comes purely just from like engineering side of things. I'm also a software engineer, and so I would also do the exact same thing. You wouldn't build an entire application in an environment that isn't going to be exactly the same as the one you're going to deploy it to. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what if it's 16 gigs less RAM on the server and it can't function, right? So you wouldn't do that. In the same way, I wouldn't ever like build playback on the hardware that it's not going to be played from, right? So this happened to an artist at Coachella this year. My friend was working on it. She was mixing monitors. And something had happened where like the session was built on somebody else's computer that was like a lot more high octane. And then it was tested. Everybody felt good about it, whatever. But then it was put onto a computer that was older and not as much RAM, like just couldn't handle it. And then it wasn't tested before the show. And during the show, they had crazy dropouts and like all of these issues. It was like bad. So my friend called me and I said, okay, well, give me all the equipment in the sessions. And I opened it up and like in 5 minutes, I knew exactly what the problem was. I was like, okay, guys, like this is going to be a $5,000 problem to fix, but then you're not going to ever have this problem again. Like you got to buy the right laptops, get the right hardware, and then, you know, fix it up. And then we did have a successful second weekend at Coachella. So saved it. Like predictability is just key with playback, really.
Yeah. Talking about process, testing, you know, just gotta make sure it all works and don't make changes once you get it going. Because consistency is key, right? You just want it to work and work the same all the time.
I want it to work.